Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will start this video by paraphrasing or probably directly quoting the former US President Harry Truman. Harry Truman, if you remember, was the president who authorized two atomic bombs dropped on two civilian cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that was in August 6 and August 9, 1945. When Mr. Truman was informed that Russia conducted its first atomic tests for developing their first atomic bomb, this is, according I think with his memoirs, he was surprised how come those Asiatic people can do such a thing. So he considered the Russians, Soviets, Asiatic people, and in his assessment that was something inferior. He was surprised how those idiots could do it. Now there's a lot of stories how the Americans were able to do it and how the Soviets were able to do it, and nevertheless, even with the help of foreign inventors, scientists, Russia was able to send the first satellite into space, the first human being in the space, right, orbiting Earth and so on, ahead of the United States in many ways, including having the only space station at that time. I don't remember the United States having a space station. I think that the United States still uses, now they want to move away from it, Russian rocket engines to send their crews up there. But hey, what do I know? Now what's the problem here? You remember the Nord Stream pipelines, the gas pipelines, the Nord Stream 1 in particular, the one that had a lot of problems with the Siemens turbines that were sent to Trudeau's communist country. Sorry for my Canadian friends here. And Trudeau decided that he's going to allow Siemens to repair and continue its contract with the Russian company and German, whatever they were involved in this, to repair and maintain the turbines. Remember? For 2 years they said, yeah, we allow Siemens to do that, to continue its contract, to fulfill its contract. And then I think about 3 months ago, Trudeau decided that no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to allow Siemens Canada to repair or maintain, continue providing maintenance for Nord Stream 1 turbines. And when that happened, when it was the idea that they were talking, should we let Siemens repair them, should we let Siemens maintain it, I was thinking, what the hell is so hard to make your own shit? I mean, you already have it, an example. You can copy it and say, screw you. You know, make something a little bit different over there and say, well, no, it's just, that's the way it is, the turbine. And if you make your own, why do you care? You make your own, copy the shit from those guys, and what are they going to do? They're going to say intellectual property bullshit. We don't talk to one another, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what the Russians did. And I'm so happy about this, you know, because first, the Russians are considered, as Truman considered them, still, like, you know, some drunk, vodka, Rocky style robots. They don't know anything. That's kind of funny because they're a little bit of a caveman, you know, or cave people, even though cave people had more brain than we had. I remember the Neanderthal had 1,430, I think, and we had 1,380 or something. I think they were about, I don't know, 120, I can't remember, whatever they have, more than our brains. So they have the ability, at least potential ability, to think more than we did, but we refer to them as cavemen, and we are the civilized. Anyway, okay, so the Russians built their turbines now and say, fuck off, Siemens and Trudeau. All right, so what's happening here? This article comes from Reuters, so it doesn't come from, you know, Pravda or Sputnik or anything else. Russia's power machines completes first high-power gas turbine to replace imported equipment. So by Siemens, you see, necessity is the mother of inventions. That's what it is. That's why people think, oh, the Russians will not be able to build their chips for their rockets and missiles because only we know how to do it. It's not about that. They're not tards. They have the example. Do you think they cannot copy? That's unbelievable. I will tell you a story, a personal story about the Soviets and the Soviets, the Americans, and my father, and the computers at that time, calculators. Not calculators, the hand calculators, the computers, the big ones. I will tell you. All right. So, if I still have time here and don't bore you to death. Russian power equipment manufacturer Power Machines said on Monday it had completed assembly and testing of its first domestically made high-power gas turbine, aiming to replace imported energy equipment unavailable due to sanctions. Okay, bye. You don't have that one. According to a statement, Power Machines plans to be able to produce 8 170 megawatt turbines a year by 2025 and raise annual capacity to 12 turbines in the future, as well as to ensure maintenance of gas turbines, including imported ones. Now I know some people would say they're gonna suck. Yes, like any other invention. It sucks, you figure out where it sucks, you fix it, you improve it, and then again you discover something else and you look at it, you improve it, you fix it, and that's how you get better, don't you? I don't expect this achievement to be perfect from the get-go. Okay, like let's say an airplane. How long did it take for us to build one to fly? Not the airplane per se, the wing, the shape of the wing. That was the whole key. If you remember, the section, the transversal section of the wing, cut it like this. We didn't know how the fuck is that shape. That we couldn't figure that out. That was the whole thing for flying. I mean, the main thing, let's put it this way, the most important thing. The first clients will be Russian oil company Tatneft, State Energy Holding, Interrak, and power company Rushidro, the statement said. Russia has for years been trying to start production of its own medium and large capacity gas turbines for power plants, but it has accelerated the process as importing and maintaining equipment in Russia has become much harder since Moscow sent tens of thousands of troops. No, this is what it was. It was easier for them not to invest in producing this kind of bullshit because you have to start from A to Z. All that process costs money and all that you lose at first to have it. Then to buy it already done. You buy it and you have it and they maintain it. It was easier like that than doing it. Like for instance let's say your washer or dryer blows up. For you to start learning and seeing what the hell is going on with that, you go to work, you make the money, and you pay someone who comes and makes it. It's that easier, and you can in your spare time doing something else. Instead of in your spare time learning how to do it, opening the whole shit, figuring it out, buying things, don't know what to buy, you waste too much time. You can do it. It's not like, oh my God, I can't do it. I'm a mechanic, can do it. You can do it. You know what I mean? It's just about knowledge. You need to get the knowledge. You need time. But you spend your time working. So you get the money, pay someone who's a professional, comes and does it in a few hours and done. So the same thing here. It's not that Russians could not and they struggle. They didn't really care about it because they could buy it from Siemens and that's it. It was a good deal. But these guys now are turned communists. Sorry, now we have to do it. And it's not a big deal. They did what, in 2 months? Something that they struggled to. Siemens Energy and General Electric and Alstom, whose turbines were used to build modern gas power plants in Russia, are either withdrawing from the Russian market or have already suspended operations. So, yeah, and they had to do it, remember? And they did it. Now, let me tell you here. Let me tell you about the story. My father was second in command. He was a director at a big company, whatever. And they used in those times, it was in the communist times, they used the old Felix computers. That's how they call it, calculators, computers. You know, the Felix computers, the first ones. So this was in the 80s, 1986, 7, 8, 9, okay, 1980, I'm sorry, 1989, 1988, 1982, all that. It was Felix computer, which was like a big freaking build, like a, how should I put it, like a big, like this dip, like a big, I don't know how you call it. Anyway, where you hang your clothes. I can't remember the word now, sorry. And you had some little things that would, I saw them because I was over there as a kid. My dad walked me through all the big freaking factory, and that was for data retrieving and all that. They were calculating how much is this, how much is that. So he was the second in command, the technical director supposedly, and was the other guy who was the director who was taking care of political stuff. So my dad actually had taken care of all the fucking factory. I can't remember how many, 2,500 employees or something like that. Anyway, so what happened? Romanians were not making those Felix computers. I will call them computers because that's how they were called. Felix computers. They were not making. The Americans were making Felix. It was made by the Americans. The Soviets did not make Felix computers. So Romania, the communist country, had deals with the American companies that were allowed to do business with communist countries, and they were allowed. The problem was not that Americans were not allowed them. High-tech, certain things probably they would not, for obvious reasons, and this was the thing. The Americans will come, provide these computers, big fucking computers, put over there, and they would leave. And my father said in 2 days after that, 2 days, the Soviet delegation will come from wherever they would come, in Moscow or whatever. They would come to the company and they would open it up, sometimes take the whole shit and take it in Soviet Union and then bring it back, because this was maintained by the Felix guys. I don't know exactly who maintained them, from overseas, from Germany maybe, I don't know. But this is the way the technology went. Those guys were invented here, bring it to the Romanians, they left, the Soviets were coming, getting it, go over there and build their own, and they will not call it Felix, they will call it Belix. And that's it, it's a Soviet-made Belix. So there you have it with these turbines. They're not going to be Siemens turbines, it's going to be Bibens turbines. You got that? Okay, now. And you say, why? Because those guys in the West had the incentive to do some things because they could get rich. In Romania, if you were an inventor, you would not get rich. And you say, well, that's not the incentive, you just have it in your blood. It's true. It's true you have it in the blood. But still, if you're not hungry, you're not going to go over there and try to look for berries or whatever you are in, hunting and gathering societies. You're going to stay and, or that's all you're going to do. Or look at the stars. That's what you're going to do. So the same here. If you don't have the urge, you don't have the necessity, you're not going to act upon it. And yes, there were scientists, Romanians, very inventive people, but the communist system, the socialist systems destroy exactly that. We have the urge to have a better life. We have an urge to to earn money, because with the money you have a better life physically, and then you're more relaxed. You're recognized in the society. Look, if I ask you right now to tell me 5 names of current scientists, I bet I can't come. I bet that we can't come with 5 between you and I. Let's put it this way. But if we talk about basketball players, or I don't know, soccer players, or I don't know, stupid fucking supposedly artists, nowadays, I think we can come with a list of 20 or 30 just like that in the first 10 seconds. So you see, this is a culture, it's a popular culture. So that's why the scientists are not really paid, but these guys are paid, because it's a popularity contest, not a real value. Remember that Greener, the whole country, United States, fuck up for Greener? And the other guy, Whalen, is there? Imagine a scientist will be over there. We wouldn't even know. Maybe there are some. Yeah, that's our society. And when the Russians call our society being depraved, we are feeling insulted. Well, just look at what we consider being valuable. I'm not talking about love, democracy, freedom. That's bullshit. These are just words, okay? Actions. How we defend Ukraine against Russia. You know that's not what it is, correct? The aim is to destroy Russia. That's the aim. Not Ukraine. Ukraine is in between the location where they try to destroy Russia. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.